What is up, guys? This is Alan here from the YGO Circle, and today I'm going to be profiling my Draco-Pal build for this April 2016 format. Without further ado, let's get straight into it, and we'll discuss as we dig into it. Starting off, I run 3 copies of Perform-Pal Pendulum Sorcerer. It's undoubtedly the best card in the deck, monster-wise. Just being able to pop any card on your field and search 2 Perform-Pals. You can search your broken Pot of Greed combo. You can search your Lizard Draw Joker. It's really good. Or Monkey Board Joker. Sorry about that. Next up, I run 3 copies of Perform Pal Silverclaw. Silverclaw is really necessary in my opinion, being the high scale that you need, because this deck, without the Wavering Eyes or without the Face Off, it's actually it has a hard time getting into high scales, so you need to run 3 of this guy. Plus, he's also a dark for Evil Swarm Nightmare, and then he's also a beast target for Beast Eyes, along with your Vector Pendulum. And then for another beast target, we run 2 Kybes of Second Donkey. He's also a searcher. When you summon him, when you control 2 scales, you can add a Perform Pal. It's really crucial for your combos, plus it's another searcher. And then if you also side in the Globe Bulb, he's also Earth level 4, so you can Nat Beast. Next up, I run the Pot of Greed combo as a 2-2, 2 Lizard Draw, and 2 Gi Turtle. A lot of people say to run 3 of these guys, or 3 Lizard Draw, 2 Gi Turtle. Some people are even only running 1 Gi Turtle and 3 Lizard Draw. I like the 2-2 because they are really good as the high scales, plus the Pot of Greed combo is too broken. But they don't really have level synergy with the deck. They're not level 4s. That's why I opt to run 2-2. And I personally like to run them both at the same ratio. So I wanted to run 2 Lizard Draw, so gotta run 2 Gi Turtle. Then I run 1 Part Naga being a really good searchable low scale off of King of Feral Imps, plus the attack boost that he gives your monsters for Perform Pal cards can actually get pretty hefty, so it's really nice to have. And then for the other searchers, I run 1 Monkey Board and 1 Joker. Monkey Board just being the 1 card scale, and then Joker just being the Stratos for the deck. It's kind of ridiculous. They're both limited for a reason. That's it for the Perform Pal engine. Next up, for the Dracos, I run 1 Luster, obviously, and then 3 Master and 3 Vector. You gotta run 3 of the vanillas in my opinion. Plus Vector has a lot of extra utility, being the Dark Dragon for your Beast Eyes. Also being a Dark type for Evil Swarm Nightmare. It's just really good. And then Master being your primary Draco Slayer that you run the Draco engine off of. Next up, I actually run the Brilliant Fusion in this deck. Brilliant Fusion engine in this deck, so I have to run 2 Garnet instead of just 1. My logic is whenever you draw into the 1 of Garnet, it'll just be completely dead, and then your 3 Brilliant Fusion in deck will be completely dead as well. Whereas now with 2, if you draw into a Garnet, you don't have to worry as much because you know you do still have that 1 copy in deck. So I opt to run 2 of these, but you can run only 1 if you so wish. Next up, I run 1 Trick Clown. Trick Clown just being a good light target to send off of Brilliant Fusion. Also just being a really good standalone level 4. Rescue Rabbit really broken with the Dracos. You can also go into your Garnets if you've already used too much Dracos and you haven't seen your Garnets at all, and you feel like you're going to win that turn. Rescue Rabbit, most of the time, if you resolve its effect, you will win, because it just resolves too much advantage, or it gives you too much advantage. and your plays just become ridiculous if you resolve the rescue rabbit, so it's broken. And then one Mask Chameleon just being the searchable level 4 tuner. Then also just being a really good normal summon, get a Draco out of grave, and then instantly go into Ignister. It's really good. Finally, to round off the monsters, I do run 2 Maxi in the main. Maxi is just too good right now not to mainboard in my opinion, because with PK Fire, Cosmo, and Burning Abyss all running around, they're all really special summon heavy, so they really gotta put some thought into their boards that they establish when they're under Maxi, because if they can't 100% kill you that turn, then it'll just give you a lot of advantage, or it might just stop their plays in general. So Maxi is just really good. Next up, I am running the Brilliant Engine, so gotta run 3 Brilliant Fusion. Brilliant Fusion is actually really crucial in this deck. Brilliant Fusion, just being able to set up multiple normal summons. Having those multiple normal summons, along with the Trick Clown, it will, most of the time you'll use that to go into Feral Imps if you don't have full scale in hand. And that Feral Imps will be the difference between you having a large Pendulum summon that turn, or not even being able to Pendulum summon at all that turn. So Brilliant Fusion is actually really crucial in this build. It's so strong. Also, you can actually send a Draco, either a Luster or a Master, to your grave off Brilliant Fusion for the light target, and then you can revive it with Dynaster, and then you can end up going off of that. A lot of times I actually do end up doing that, and I just use my double normal summon for the Feral Imps, and then I just go off. Brilliant Fusion is really crucial. Another thing is, the main problem that I always had with the Brilliant Engine before is that Seraphonite took up too much board presence. It was just that one extra monster slot was always the difference between OTKing and not for me, and that was my problem before. But now that in the TCG we got the Sorcerer Errata, that came along with the adjusted list in February, I believe it was. It's really good because you can target both your Brilliant Fusion and your Seraphonite. You can pop those and then you could get your search. You don't have to kill your scales, which was one of the big downsides about Sorcerer before. You can kill both your Brilliant Fusion and your Seraphonite. You can get your double search, and then you can have that one board slot freed up, so you can keep going off, and it's not really a limitation anymore. So Brilliant Fusion is just really crucial now with this new April list. Next up, I run 2 copies of Painful Decision. Painful Decision, it's still really good. Send your Draco, send either a Master or a Vector to grave, add it to hand, and then that's a low scale. Plus you can also set up your Master in grave for Dynaster. It's really good. Next up, run 2 Instant Fusion. Instant Fusion is too good not to run. Norden is too strong. The rank 4 plays are ridiculous. Then I run 1 copy of Draco Face Off. Face Off, obviously, we're running the Draco engine. Have to run Face Off. You run this card at max. It really sucks that it got limited, but it was necessary, honestly. Then I run 1 Foolish Burial to set up the Trick Clown. If you don't have the Brilliant Fusion, you can still go into your Feral Imps off of this in a normal summon. And then you can just go off from there. And then 1 Regeki in the main. A lot of people, or a lot of Draco-Pal builds, dropped the Regeki out of main a while ago. I decided to put it back in because we did actually lose a lot of cards. We lost Wavering Eyes completely. We lost 2 copies of Draco Face Off and 3 copies of Upstart because I'm not only going to run 1. So I found that there's actually room for the Regeki in the main, and it's honestly too good. Like, I forgot how good just wiping a board was off of just Regeki, and then being able to push for game off of that. So Regeki is too strong. And then one Soul Charge. Soul Charge, I don't really know if I like in this deck. Um, Main reason I'm running it is because if they warning or strike your entire pendulum summon, it's really good because you can just soul charge it all back. So if they warning a pendulum summon of 2 or 3, you can just soul charge it back, and they essentially just wasted a warning, with the exception of you not being able to go into battle phase that turn. But yeah, like, it's all right. I've been considering dropping it, but every single time that I almost go through with dropping it, it just comes really clutch the very next game. So, Soul Charge, it's all right. That is it for the 40 card main. Moving on to the extra, I'm running one Ignister. Ignister, obviously, it's ridiculous. You'd run this guy at max with the Draco engine. It's just being able to pop any scale on board and then just spin a card on your opponent's side of the field back into the deck. It's ridiculous. Ignister is too good. Then I run one Felgrand. I honestly like Felgrand over the Harbinger because Harbinger can only negate spell cards, whereas Felgrand can either protect himself or protect any monster you control or stop your opponent from activating card effects. Whenever I go turn 0, I always try to make a Felgrand Dweller because Dweller is really good against both PK Fire, BA, and Cosmo. And then Felgrand, if they try to clear my board, I'll just chain Dweller, chain Felgrand, Felgrand target himself, and then Dweller will just stop them from going into grave that turn. So Felgrand, I like it over the Harbinger. Another one Magister Paladin. Magister Paladin's just really good. Getting your search during the end phase and just extending your Draco plays, it's really good. And around one Castel. Castel, obviously, just getting rid of any problem cards your opponent controls. Fairlimps is honestly so clutch in this build. Just being able to search out either your Lizard Draw, your Mass Chameleon, or your Part Naga. Just being able to search out either a high scale or low scale or a tuner, either one that you need. It's ridiculous just being able to make your really big boards, make really big pushes. Fairlimps is really crucial in this build. Honestly, considering bumping it up to 2, I'm having trouble figuring out what to drop for it. Next up, I run one Diamond Dyer. Diamond Dyer, it's one of the best rank 4s in the game. I wouldn't say it's the best like everyone else, but it's still really good. Just being able to go into Diamond Dyer and then potentially get rid of a Solemn. It's really good. They either got to Solemn the Diamond Dyer or they just got to let it blow up. Then I run one Emerald. Emerald, honestly, I don't even use it for its main shuffle back and draw 1. I don't even use it for that. I use it to revive my vanillas from grave and then extend my plays. It's really sacky in my opinion. But worst case scenario, I do use that shuffle back effect, draw 1, and then I just keep going off from there. But Emerald, it's really good in this deck. One Nightmare. Nightmare is just really good in the mirror, to be honest, or any Pendulum deck that you're playing. Nightmare is just too strong. So I'm going to keep running this card until Pendulums just fall off the face of the earth. Then I run one Cowboy. Honestly, it's not a good card to run in this deck. It's just a personal thing of mine that I won't drop because I don't know how many times with this deck or other rank 4 spam decks that I have literally lost because I didn't have the Cowboy. Because I'd get him within the 800, then I wouldn't be able to Cowboy, so I'd just go into another rank 4. And then they'd just proceed to clear my board completely and then kill me. It's ridiculous. So I personally just need to run the Cowboy. If you want to drop this, you can. It's definitely not necessary, but it's just a personal thing of mine. I just have to run the Cowboy from now on, period. One Dweller. Dweller, obviously, it's really, really good. PK Fire matchup, BA matchup. It's good against Cosmos, so their ships don't float. Really good. Abyss Dweller. If I were to drop the Cowboy, it would be for a second Abyss Dweller, though. Next up, 2 Dynaster. Dynaster is ridiculous now because Ignister's limited. In my previous builds, I never really liked this, but now with Ignister limited, you do need that extra level 8 to go into Felgrand. And Dynaster, it's really ridiculous now, especially because I'm running the Painful Decisions, and you can also send your Dracos off of Brilliant Fusion as lights and revive them back. It's really good, Dynaster. I've been considering bumping it up to 3, but same thing with Feral Imps, I just don't know what I drop. Next up, Beast Eyes. Beast Eyes is really good for OTK pushes. You just need a Dark Dragon and a Beast type. And then you go into Beast Eyes, he's a 3k beater, and the reason why you use Silverclaw primarily is because when this card kills an opponent's monster by battle, you can inflict burn damage equal to the Beast type monster's attack points. So you run over a monster. He's 3k, by the way, so you're most likely going to run over a monster. And then they're going to take the battle damage plus an additional 1800 burn. So it's really good, in my opinion. Plus, it's a level 8 for your Felgrand as well. Then I run 1 Seraphinite. Seraphinite for the Brilliant Fusion. It's too strong. Too strong. You don't need 1, because if you resolve 1 Brilliant Fusion, you're most likely gonna win at that point. And then 1 Norden for the instant fusions, because rank 4 plays are ridiculous. Alright guys, that is it for my Draco-Pal deck profile for the April 2016 ban list. I hope you did enjoy. If you have any questions, comments, any kind of constructive criticism, please leave it in the comment section down below. A big thing with this build is the Gem Knight engine is actually really flexible, because if you're in a matchup where the Dark engine is just better, or any kind of engine, you can just side out your entire Brilliant Fusion engine and just side into a Dark engine with Armageddon Knights, Shadal Dragon, and Zephyros. That's why I really like this version. It's really flexible because the Gem Knight engine you could just completely side out for a matchup, and then you can just drop the Seraphinite for like a Nat Beast or any kind of problem card for your opponent. But yeah, that is it for the deck profile. I hope you guys did enjoy. This has been Alan from the YGO Circle, signing out.